Hello students, welcome to the session of Civil Engineering, Societal and Global Impacts. So, in previous session, we have discussed about the infrastructural facilities, what are the future scopes and what can be the future technologies and future vision in transportation and in other many sectors, right? So now let's discuss about the civil engineering projects. What is civil engineering projects? How is the work done in the projects? What are the main terminologies to be carried out during the site handling? Let's discuss about this module. This is module number 6. Now, first of all, you can see here there are various numbers of projects in civil engineering. You can see the numbers of projects what I have written here in which civil engineer is important and civil engineering work is being carried out in these projects. Now you can see multi-story building, you can see the dam construction, hydraulic construction, residential site, commercial site. There is n number of projects in which civil engineering can be applied, right? Now let's discuss in further what is environmental impact assessment and its objective, why it is important and what are the characteristics related to environmental impact assessment, why environmental impact assessments needs to be done during the construction phase and even after the construction phase, what is the importance of it. You can see here assessment of beneficial and adverse impact on environmental resources or values resulting from a proposed public and private projects, right? Yes, the concept of green building, the concept of sustainability, right? Because resources which we are using should be regained and should be sustainable that we can use it again in near future, right? The question of climate change also comes under this only, because during the construction period we use various numbers of materials and that materials has effect on climate change, which is considered as that what is the change, how is the temperature change and what can be done for it. Now you can see here systematic process to identify, predict and evaluate the environmental effect of proposed actions, right? Before starting any site there is an thing that we need to do the environmental impact assessment, that what will be the impact on environment by constructing this, what are the resources we are using, what can be the damage done by constructing this site. Even if there is a site and we have demolished the site and we are constructing it again, then also there is a question of environmental impact. What will we do with that waste material, right? So this is a very important topic right now which is in the construction field. Let's see what are the objectives of it. You can see here objectives is to maintain the quality of environment, that is what we have already discussed. Right, in this era and scenario environmental quality assessment is very important and environmental impact assessment is very important, as we all know that infrastructure is developing and we are gaining our GDP through the infrastructural development only. So that is why environment comes under our observation only, right? Let's see to suggest remedial measures for development of projects. Yes, we need to see if we can apply anything related to the resource management, related to the sustainability. If I can have that, if in the construction field if I can use a concrete and do that, if there is any economical material I can use and which has a less impact on environment, then I need to apply that material. But yes, with respect to the strength, with respect to the quality of construction, with respect to the material, I need to assess that first. Next is to identify most environmental sustainable options. Yes, that is what we have already discussed. And last is to maximize positive impact, right? There should be a positive impact. So environmental impact assessment is already important in the construction field since so long, but we need to now think of it in relation of the resources which we are using in the construction field. Now you can see what are the long-term objectives here. Protect human health. Yes, that is a major question, as I have discussed that climate change is a major question right now and that basically deals with the construction only, right? Next is the social aspect of the proposal. We need to see where what type of construction, what will the beneficiaries of that construction, how it is important to the people residing, right? Then you know that safeguard value resources, and lastly the components which we are using for our construction should be properly maintained. So this is about whole EIA and the objectives of it. This is actually an important topic from this module. Now there are various stages of EIA methodology. What is EIA methodology? How it can be done? What is the survey required in EIA? Let's discuss a very first point, that is known as screening. We need to see that what is the project actually, what are the benefits of it, what are the causes of it, what damage will it conduct to our environment. We need to see, that is known as depending upon the nature and location of project. Next is alternatives. What are the alternatives if it is required and we need to do that, but there are any chances of doing the alteration in any other stage of that project, we need to do that, right? Next is preliminary assessment. So preliminary assessment basically is before the construction. We do the preliminary assessment before going to the site. There is a rapid assessment, key impacts. We need to see what are the key impacts, what can the assessment can be done. That is known as preliminary assessment. Next comes the scoping, the key issues of concern at early stage. What are the key issues? Planning process, right? There are various process which are coming up in EIA, and during, even when we are doing any of the construction, there are the processes which are coming up, and according to that we are doing the EIA survey, right? Environmental impact assessment. So every stage of construction we need to do the impact assessment of that stage, right? Next, if you can see here, you can see main EIA study and EIS, that is environmental impact scientific technology, what can be done and how it can be done. Environmental impact study also it can be said. There is a checklist, there is a questionnaire, there is a research question into it. If there is something damaging to our environment, what are the alternative options towards it? That is the main focus of EIA basically, right? Next is environmental impact statement, is a comprehensive document that reports the finding of EIA, now often required by law before a new project. Yes, everybody needs to do a EIA before they start anything, but what damage can be done and how it can be regained, right? Next is there are some volumes which is regarded to EIA. We need to know about that things, that is a comparison and concise document, drawings together, non-technical summary also we need to do, that is the basic site calculation, what are the site situation, how is the site, what are the visual impact, what are the safeguards, everything can be done in EIA. When we are talking about the volume 1, that is a basic thing, and when you are talking about the volume 2, there will be a detailed assessment of the site, right? Regarding to what material you are going to use, how much material you are going to use, what is the volumetric analysis, that's all being calculated in volume 2, and we need to report that things, right? Next, we are going to see waste material avoidance in construction. Yes, which is the major question right now during the construction period. Now, here I would like to tell, we all know that if a building is 25 to 30 years old, we need to do what? We need to do the reconstruction. We need to do the modification of that. And if we are demolishing the existing structure, and we are constructing a new structure, then what we will do with that waste material? Is it useful anywhere? Can we use it anywhere? That is a major question, because that also creates pollution, that also creates the increment in the temperature level. Yes, you might know that concrete can react a lot, and that will create a pollution, and that will ultimate effect over climate, right? So this is what is, there are three things we need to take care of it, that materials what we are using should be reusable, recycled, and can be reduced in the usage. If whatever it is required, that much amount is only used. There is a lot of waste of materials there in the site construction, right? So you can see here, reducing material waste generate income from collecting some materials, reduce your cost from purchasing less materials. Yes, that will also benefit you. If we are collecting any material and we can reuse that, we can use that material more and more for our site construction. Similarly, there are tips for reduce tips, there are for reuse, and there are recycle. Avoid or over ordering, as much work as you require to order, right? Don't take the poor quality and the damaged deliveries. Ultimately, that is waste only. Next is what is the reuse. You can see here I have given many examples. Collect offcuts and use first instead of new materials. Return, sell, or donate unused materials, right? So this is what can be done so that the material wastage can be avoided. Similarly, you can see here in the recycle, sort of different waste material on site, locate containers close to working areas. Therefore, we can reuse that and the wastage can be avoided. Like metal, paper, cardboards, these are the materials which we can recycle. actually, right? So this is how these three main things, which is very much important for avoiding the wastage of materials. Next, let's see what is increasing manpower and equipment efficiency. What is increasing manpower and equipment efficiency? So here you can see that invest in training means whenever we are having a manpower at my site, the staff who is working for my construction site should be properly skilled, should be properly knowing all the parameters related to site, should be having the good knowledge of equipment handling, and should be knowing that what is being observed, how it is being observed, what guidance, what position on you are, and what analysis you have to do can be done. That is what a site engineer is doing. Junior site engineer, senior site engineer, site associate, that are the people who are taking care of it. So manpower should be properly managed and equipment efficiency should be 100%. Then only our capital cost will be low and hence we can gain a profit, right? So you can see here, I would like to tell, invest in training, listen to your staff, improve your communication, establish performance measurement, implement prefabrication and modular construction, and regular check-ins with workers, use of mobile technologies, incentives to workers. This is very easy and common as per the names and the headings what I have given. I have already mentioned some few important points. You can make it out what I mean actually. This is basically for the manpower who are working on the site, that being a senior supervisor on site, it is the responsibility of senior supervisor to listen to the workers, to the laborers, and even to the junior engineers, right? That is the one thing. Next is listen to your staff. If you are some point you are wrong, you need to take advice even if it is your junior, right? That might helpful to you. Use of mobile technology, which is the smartest thing a person is right now having, which will very helpful. We can locate, there are many numbers of applications and usage of it, so we can use it for our construction field. So this is how increasing manpower and the efficiency of it. Next, you can see factors affecting labor productivity at building construction. There are numbers of factors. I have listed some of it. You can see here accident, construction method, labor disloyalty, inspection delay, payment delays, material shortage, lack of meetings. There are n numbers of factors given, but I have mentioned this only. These are the factors which affects your labor productivity. Means a person, a worker, a small mason worker or a small labor who is working for your site needs to have this all things to be checked. If there is something, for example, if I take an example of here that is labeled disloyalty, it happens that we have calculated our time series, within this time we will complete this site, and if it is not happening, ultimately there is a mistake of labor and we are not getting proper labor productivity, right? So these are the parameters and factors which you have to make in mind while the labor productivity comes, and we need to deal according to that with the people of level with whom we are working, right? Next is, you can say, tools to improve efficiencies of equipment during the building construction site. Read and follow the manufacturer instructions and maintenance. This is very easy. Before starting the work, check the machine, keep the equipment properly greased and lubricated, clean all the equipment after uses. This is very simple, what you can make it out, what I mean here. Next, you can see advanced construction techniques for the better sustainability, which is also known as ACT, are set to become the sustainable mainstay for the construction industry due to demand of innovation housing solution. Yes, there are numbers of innovative solutions right now coming up in the construction field. If I take here example, I have also given in the last module also, there are a sensor based light, right, which works only for 1 minute or 2 minutes. This can be kept at the veranda area of your house, or it can be kept in the washroom, right? So what happens, person walks and the sensor works and the lights on. This is, I'm giving the example, which is advanced construction technique, right? It is not the point that this is of the electrical person who is doing it, but during the construction phase we are the one who keep the sensors and who detect the sensors that this is required, right? Similarly, there are many security purposes which has been developed right now. So these are the advanced construction techniques right now coming in. During the designing we need to do the innovations. So let's discuss first of all using sustainable building materials. What is using sustainable building materials? You all know that sustainable building materials which we are using should be having less harm to the environment. Material transport cost will be less. Recyclability capacity should be more. Use of renewable resources should be more. And finally, the maintenance cost, right? Sustainable question is a major question right now in the construction field, and we need to take care of it. Similarly, uses of solar powers, we all know that we have kept the solar panels that will help, and we can gain the electricity. Again, the question of sustainability, and that is a sustainable, actually we are gaining the energy, that is electricity. Similarly, there is a water efficiency technology. What can you keep here? Water meters, that is a new technology right now coming up. People are having the water meters at their home, and accordingly they can work on it. Then having rainwater harvesting system, yes, this is also we have already discussed, which is related to infrastructural facility. Lastly, you can see the use of smart appliances, energy saving, self sufficient appliances. Yes, that means what I have said, actually the sensor system you can use, that it works only for 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, and that is automatically stopping, right? Even the ACs are inverters right now coming up, right? When you turn on the AC, you are out, you can turn on the AC, you can keep the time, then it will be turned off, so energy can be saved basically. Last is zero energy and low energy building. What does that mean? Lesser energy consumption by the building, by the house or by the home, that is known as zero energy. Yes, energy consumption is zero, though building or a house is working with the full amenities and full facilities which is related to the construction field. That is what is low energy or zero energy building. Similarly, you have electrochromic smart glasses. That is what is restore the energy. That is known as electrochromic smart glasses. Similarly, there are a number of chimneys coming up, which are the smart chimneys, which are helpful during the summers and the winters time in your home. Yes, you haven't heard that in a home we can keep a chimney. I'm not talking about the homes which are there in the foreign, they have the chimney. The chimney which is kept in the kitchen is different. I'm talking related to the chimney which is kept in the construction, in the house itself. That helps a lot for the maintaining indoor and outdoor quality of air, right? Similarly, water efficiency technology and self-powered building, that is what is zero energy or less energy consumption buildings. So similarly, we need to see what materials we are using basically, then only we can get the better sustainability. Now let's see what is reduction in greenhouse gases emission in civil engineering projects. Yes, greenhouse gas emission, you all know that, which is the major question right now coming up. What can we do for that? What is the importance of that? Right, carbon emission is the highest, and we need to reduce that carbon emission actually. Every year 1% increase in emission of carbon, you all know that, because we are constructing and constructing and constructing. That is the what, every year increase in carbon. Next is we need to know the significant environmental impact. That's what in the starting we have discussed of EIA. It is very important to discuss. Last, you can see techniques for reducing greenhouse gases emission. The first of all, reducing fuel use, equipment maintenance. Yes, properly sized equipment. Next is replaced or repowered equipment. Last is conserving electricity. That is what we all are right now trying. Reducing impact of construction materials and energy efficient site. Last is efficient use of construction plant. So basically, starting from the first phase to the last phase, till we are using that residential site or a commercial site, we need to take care of it, right? During the site construction, we need to see that what is the equipment, how is the equipment, it should be properly maintained. Then only the carbon emission will be less, because all are working on the fuel, and that should be actually maintained. Conserving electricity, that is what we are doing with the help of solar energies. Water technologies, that is what we are making the fuel water meters, and that is important for us to know how much water we are using and how we can restore their water again, right? So these are the techniques which we can use. You have to remember these techniques. Next, let's see the new thing which is known as new project management paradigm and systems. This is a new topic actually, student. There are traditional types and there is a modern type also. We can manage the project. Now, you all know that construction project management. What is construction project management? How we manage our site stage by stage. That is known as construction project management. Let's see that during the period of almost 20 to 30 years back, how was it is developed and what are the things they are doing actually. So there is a traditional waterfall project management system, which is known as traditional waterfall project management system. Now, what does it consider into it? What is traditional waterfall? Let's see. It is linear. All phases of process occurs in sequence. Yes, starting from the site analysis, that is the site survey, the area calculation of your site, the material used in site, what are the materials, is the very first process comes. Then we see that we are going to see how we are going to handle stage by stage all the components. That is again the second phase, right? So these are the consequences and these are the concern that comes under process by process. Next, it depends on the predictable tool and predictable experience. This is just based on the experience process only, right? So, good skilled who have handled many sites would be very much aware of this method. Next is feasibility plan design, build, test, production, support, and time and cost are variables. That is the reason why traditional project management faces budget and timeline issues, which was the traditional actually. Right now we cannot use this because we need to complete all our parameters within the given timeline. And right now in the construction field, how early you complete your site and handle to the client is the one who can have good experience and who can have good handling capacity and can have many other projects. You know that if I can complete my site within 1 month and I can give it before 5 or 10 days, that is a good result of it, that I can handle a site with the required timeline. And in traditional waterfall we cannot do that, right? Next type is agile project management. Which type and what does it mean? Teamwork, customer collaboration, and this is the flexibility. Means teamwork is being required into this. Collaboration of customer is properly done, and flexibility is given into it. Next is software development and continuous incorporating about the feedback. So in Agile, we can use the softwares, we can have the different softwares for the structural calculation for the drainage system. We can use that in the agile project management. Team and work structure are designed which are useful to all team members and customers and client. And lastly, traditional method focuses only on scope, time and cost, unsuitable for new era again, right? Though we are using software, though we are developing it, even agile is considered as the traditional one, because for some parameters, for some components only we are using this thing. We are not using it for the whole controlling of project site. Right now, there are many softwares. You have heard of Primavera, you have heard of Microsoft projects, which are very automized and which can schedule and which can handle each and every day of your site. Let's discuss now a very important, which is known as lean construction technology, which is right now a present era technology. What is? It is non-profit corporation, project-based product management, membership-based organization whose mission is to transform a broken design and construction industry through lean thinking, tools and techniques. Basically, there are the principles. What is lean technology? There are some principles. In this we have the automation, in this we have the proper manpower, in this we have the proper equipment usage, in this we are ordering all the materials and we are handling the site on timeline, which is what we have already decided. This is an important technology which right now going on. So there is no injustice to the contractor, no injustice to the project handler, no injustice to the site engineer and even to the laborers. So let's see what are the 6 principles of lean construction, because this technology right now we are almost using it up. Identify the value from customer point of view, estimate waste, eliminate waste, right? Flow of work and process, pull planning and scheduling, continuous improvement. The softwares which I say, that is Primavera and Microsoft project, actually works on lean construction, that before starting or before commencing we are having the result of it, that what can be done and how can be done and how can we reduce or recycle or how can we have the good flow work without delaying our work. Similarly, you can see what are the benefits. There are numbers of benefit. Higher quality work, actually we are getting higher quality work. Increase employee collaboration and accountability, greater projections, increase ROI, that is rate of interest, and improve risk management. Basically, using this we are having the vision that what is required, how can we manage, what can we schedule, how can we schedule, everything can be known under these things. So basically this is a soft and technologies which are used in lean construction before starting any project, right? So it is very beneficial to us, and we can at a time we can handle 2 to 3 sites together, but we should be having the skill of this softwares which can be used under the lean construction technology. Now, what are the future trends in project management related to the lean construction, if I say, or you can say in a general sense, that is artificial intelligence, hybrid approach, emotional intelligence, project management office, Kanban board, cybersecurity, and IoT. What are these? Artificial intelligence. How can we use hybrid approach? What are the parameters and what are the components I can do while handling one site? If I can handle a 2 site together, what are the parameters into it? What are the hybrid approach towards it, right? What is Kanban boards, cybersecurity, and you can see IoT. What is IoT? Internet of Things. Because right now the projects are coming up with the technologies, and we need to provide the smart buildings, the intelligent buildings. People require that, and for doing that we need to have. Now I would like to give you here an example. You can see here, you have heard of Japan or USA or Russia, any countries, like you have seen that the construction just started before almost 10 days, and in 15 days it is working condition and it is open to the public. How it is possible actually, starting from the scratch and usage to given to the public, how it is possible, right? They are using the various numbers of technology. Yes, manpower efficiency is important, equipment efficiency is important, but future trends and technologies are very important. Artificial intelligence, you know, right now market is of artificial intelligence. What artificial intelligence, how you can have the construction very powerful and you can have in a new technological era, right? Kanban boards, what is Kanban boards? This is the technology which is used actually that you can have a good control over the project, you can have a good control over the cost minimization, you can have a good control over what are the materials and what are the equipments you are using actually, right? So this is how is the future trends which are right now coming up in the project management, and we need to work on it. Basically you can say here I have given you example of Primavera and Microsoft project here, but these are the things which are coming up other than that softwares, right? So it comes basically with the automation. Now if I say here I have a garden at my home and I need to water it every day, I need to keep a sprinkler on automation that every Tuesday and Wednesday it will be working, right? And that can be planned by us only while we are constructing that thing. I am just giving you here an example. What is the example of it? It is an example of artificial intelligence, or you can consider it that is an example of IoT, right? So these are the future trends which are right now coming in. There are also numbers of future trends, but this is what I have listed because these are the important ones and you should be knowing it all, right? Thank you.